my channel. If you're new here, my name is Noella. That's Noella. And today I'm gonna be flipping through my old sketchbooks to show you guys what's inside. I really wanted to go in chronological order, but I was working on different sketchbooks at the same time at some point, so it's kind of impossible. But without further ado, let's get started because I think this video is going to be kind of long, and we're going to start with this small one here. Okay, so this one, it just says pencil sketches, but I'm pretty sure there's more than pencil in here, and it's from September 2019, and I never finished it, so there's no date here. On the front, it's just some doodles. But yeah, it's just like some pencil doodles. So at the time, I was really into the whole iFlower thing. It's still one of my logos for my business because I really like the iFlowers, but this was like an early concept of it, and I just doodled and like made it the whole page. And then here I was not practicing, but like testing the pencils that I had, because I had a little like sketching pencil set, and I just wanted to see what was in it. I don't really know what this was. I think it was just like me practicing a face, and then I just made all the like squiggles in the background. These were some fish. I don't know, like betta fish, but like different. I don't know what kind of fish they were. I just felt like doodling them, and it was fun. This was one of my favorite sketches at the time because it just kind of was. It was like flowy and fun to make, and I kept adding extra lines and dots, and it was a lot of fun. This is the key from Kingdom Hearts. I'm not really a big fan anymore, but I was when I was younger. And I made this. Obviously it's not straight because it was freehand. So I think I did this when I was at work. I used to be a receptionist at a hotel, and I think I was just doodling this one day when it was quiet. That was supposed to be Ryuk. Oh, I even wrote it. It's supposed to be Ryuk from Death Note. Didn't work out very well, but I tried. But then this is, don't kill me because I don't really play Kingdom Hearts anymore. Sora, right? From Kingdom Hearts. And, I thought the shading came out really good on this one. And I worked on this, like, peony. It's kind of like a tattoo design. Like, for your leg or something, you know? And a heart flail, which I thought was really fun to make. I don't think that the spikes look right. That was my only problem with it, but yeah. I did some little mushrooms. Again, definitely thinking about tattoos. And this is, Corpse Bride, right? I don't know. I don't remember why I decided to draw her, but I did. Yeah, and see how I said that it was a pencil sketchbook, and I just came out with the markers. I remember this I made at work, and we had just gotten these like really colorful markers, and no one was using them, so they were just sitting in the drawer. And I was just like, you know what, I am going to use them because I know that no one is going to use these markers, and they're just sitting there. So yeah, I made this, and I didn't even really realize that I was doing it in my pencil sketchbook, so, and it got onto this page. In 2021, it was my birthday, and I really wanted to do a self-portrait because I was like was sick or something, so I couldn't leave the house. And I made this. And as you can probably tell, the mushrooms on my shoulder were definitely an afterthought. And I could have added more like dimension, I guess, like, you know, shadows and like some moss or grass around it, but I just left it. But yeah, this was like a totally different time than the rest of the things in the book. I just was looking for a sketchbook to draw in that day, and I made it. This was a concept drawing for a painting that I made called Shadow Self. I'll try to insert a picture of it if I can find it. But yeah, both of these are me, but that's supposed to be like my shadow self holding me back, you know? So this was just like the sketch before I went and painted it, because when I painted it, it looked different. I didn't have a veil on, and my shadow self was blue. But yeah, that's me. And again, another pencil drawing from 2021. I never did anything with this concept, but I really liked the idea of like moths on a girl's face. And I never did anything with it. I am censoring it because, not because it's something like sexual, but it's nudity, so I'm putting my hand over it to cover it. But yeah, I don't know. This says that it was in 2020, but the other ones are from 2021, so I don't know if that's actually accurate, but yeah. I think this is Rico Nasty. I'm not sure. She looks like Rico Nasty, and I love Rico Nasty. I met her in 2017, I want to say, so I've always loved Rico Nasty, and I think this is Rico Nasty, but I'm not sure. Oh, I was working on some designs for Lino Cut. I ended up doing this, but she didn't have a face because I couldn't get the Lino Cut to like look like a face, you know? So I just had like a girl with her afro was the middle of the sunflower. And again, this is another idea for a Lino Cut that I didn't do because it was too hard to do the face part. This one I also never turned into a Lino Cut, but I have a painting that's like this that I really loved. Again, never really did anything with this, but I was trying to, because I don't know if you can tell, but I erased a lot of the harsh lines, so I was trying to like figure out how to do shading, if that makes sense. I don't really remember this one, but I never did anything with it, I don't think. It looks like a piece that I ended up painting. I'll see if I can find it, but if not, I don't really remember what I did with this. I think that might be the last one in this sketchbook. Yeah. Oh, there's something in there. Let's see. I could have sworn I just saw something. Maybe I'm wrong. Every Single Thing. Oh, Every Single Thing by Home Shake. One of my favorite songs. But yeah, like I said, I never finish a sketchbook. So one day I will finish a sketchbook. But yeah, on to the next one. Okay, this is the next one. It says pen drawings from 2019. I will never get a sketchbook like this again because it was so hard to keep it all together. But I did love the cover because it was so easy to use a gel pen on. So I did this all in white gel pen. And I just remember that it started with this small little flower right here. And then like I just kept adding and adding like over the course of like the months that I was working in this sketchbook, and it just got better and better. say that they like this cover when they see it. So anyway, in the corner here you can't really see, but it says "We Face the Path of Time," and that's Nutshell by Alice in Chains, which is one of my favorite songs. In this sketchbook, I was definitely thinking about going for a tattooing apprenticeship, so a lot of these pieces are like tattooing ideas. And I was really into eyes and eyeballs. I still kind of am, but relaxed a bit on that. But yeah, that's what this is, just a flower with an eyeball in the middle. This was supposed to be like a crow or a raven, and I just imagined it being like an arm piece, but the circle is not very, like, it's not perfect, I guess, but I do like the idea, and yeah. So I started a mandala, and I didn't finish because I ran out of, like, ideas on how to expand it. And honestly, I would go back and do it, but I just want to leave it, because I think the biggest thing, I didn't like this part, and it could probably be fixed, but I didn't want to. This one was a lot of fun to make because I kept coming up with like creative ideas for how to do the background. I really liked doing it. And let me move this down a little bit. I thought this was giving Black Hole Sun because, like I said, I was really into Alice in Chains. I still am. And I was really into Soundgarden, so that's what I thought. I don't think it really matches the rest of the vibe, but I thought it was a cool, like, color combination. Another mandala. It's not perfect, but like I said, I really enjoyed, like, coming up with the creative ways to expand the mandala, and then I ended up just leaving it as a circle. An imperfect circle, but a circle. If you don't know what this is, it's a menstrual cup that people use for their periods. And I was thinking about getting a tattoo of it, like on my ankle or something, and making like the blood a little art. So that was the idea that I was going for. I think this is supposed to be the blood splashing, so that didn't translate well, but yeah, I still think it's a cool idea, and maybe I'll get something like that at some point. I don't know. I remember I worked on this when I was working at the hotel, and it says "It's all downhill from here," which is a Frank Ocean song. What song is that? That's the way every day goes. Maybe it's Pink and White. Yeah, if the sky is pink and white, right? I think it's that song. Anyway, but it was just a doodle, and then I started adding some different elements, like the strippy eye, Playboy bunny, art with spikes, ace of spades, and hourglass. And again, more mandalas because I loved mandalas at the time. This, I wish it didn't get messed up. It was really just me testing the different markers and seeing like what colors were darker, you know. So this was supposed to be like a new school tattoo kind of vibe, and the green stuff was supposed to be like a cloud or something, but it looks like weed. So yeah, I don't hate it. It's just not what I was going for. So yeah, like neo-traditional, old school, whatever. I mean, traditional or neo-traditional is what I was going for. That's supposed to be an eye. It didn't translate well because it's so small, but yeah. A jellyfish. I think jellyfish are really cool to draw because there's so many different, like, parts of them. A rose. I remember my marker was dying on this pink part. That's why it looks so weird. But yeah. Yeah, see, missing lettering and chose to write that. That was gonna be a gargoyle. This was supposed to be a gargoyle, and I kind of discovered that I don't know what a gargoyle is and like what it entails when you're drawing it, so yeah, I had a hard time with this. Oh, this was so fun. I was working on it at the hotel. I remember I had a 3 to 11 shift, and it was extremely quiet. I had like 5 check-ins, and I just sat in the office and just doodled the entire time, and this was so much fun. I remember my coworkers who came back to like check on me or like see how I was doing. They were all like, "Oh my god, that's so good." This was so at the time I was dating someone that I worked at Walmart with like prior to making this, and so I drew our promise ring that he gave me, and then I made like these little lines in the background that look like Walmart. Can you imagine how corny that is? Well, now you know. This is me, and I actually drew this for Inktober. I loved Inktober. Maybe I'll revisit that and do like a sketchbook that's just Inktober this year. That would be really cool. But the prompt was mindless. So this is me. I tried to draw myself to the best of my abilities. And that's my brain coming out because I'm like mindless, you know. Was my idea. This one was another Inktober thing, and I can't remember what it was, but it was definitely something to do with like conservation. So I drew a turtle, and he was trapped in like plastic. I remember this was like one of the hardest Inktober things. I think maybe I stopped doing Inktober things after I made this because it was so hard and complicated. And then like I started doing the water. Oh my god, it feels so good. I wish you guys could feel it. I started drawing the water, but it just felt like it was too much, so I stopped. Actually, I think this was another Inktober thing, like fruity or something was the prompt. So I made a little popsicle with strawberries in it. It looked different in my head, I remember, and it came out like this. I don't hate it. It was kind of fun making like the white part of the strawberry. It feels so nice. I wish you guys could feel it. This is the little house from Midsummer, and I did it for Inktober, I think. Yeah, this was Inktober too. It's supposed to be a Mexican cornhusk doll. I can't remember what the prompt was. I really wish that I wrote down the prompts so I could know. This came out cuter in my head. It didn't translate well in the drawing. I also really wanted the background to be blue, but my blue marker like died or something that day, so this is all I had. And these are just doodles and me writing, I don't know, me like testing markers, I guess. I think this was Inktober too, but I can't really remember. This is an interesting concept, like the skull with the girl and the bird. It's a little weird, but that's a art spider web. I had some fun making snowflakes. It's Haku. I always loved Spirited Away, but I was really into it around this time. Like when I came home from college, I was really into watching Spirited Away, and I ended up getting just ended up being too dark. I wish I could remember what I was going for with this one, but it's definitely unique. I'll give it that. This one was a lot of fun to make. Basically, I just took a white gel pen and did a bunch of circles, and then I went and colored in all the spaces with different colors, and I went for like cool colors and then into warm colors. It was a lot of fun to make. I guess it's not really finished, but I like how it came out, so. And these are the kind of papers that I would just use, like to stop from getting on the rest of the book. But I think that's the rest. This looks like I wrote on it, but I think it was just the end. So, my sister actually made this for me. I think I might hang it in my studio because it's so cute. But my sister said that it reminded her of me or something like that, so she gave me it, and I think it's so cute. And this is the lyrics from Disintegration by The Cure, which is my other favorite song. My two favorite songs are Nutshell by Alice in Chains and Disintegration by The Cure. So I wrote it on the edge, and this was me learning how to do lettering. So I printed this out at my job so that I could practice how to do different letters. And let's get back to the next one. Okay, so this one was pen drawings for 2020. Something got on this, I can't really remember. I think it might be like linseed oil that you use for like oil paint thinning. I don't know, that's my guess from the texture. But I also drew this cover with white gel pen. An interesting cover for sure. So again, a lot of it was me at work, just doodling. And I can move this. These were just sticky notes. I think my manager asked me to stop doodling on the sticky notes because I was just using so many of them. But I made this pink sunflower, and this says I keep on falling. This, I remember, was a piece of scrap paper. It had like reservation numbers or something on it. Oh, it was someone's receipt. It doesn't say a name though. But yeah, I wrote Never Ending Shift because I was just doodling, and I did that. And then I did this kind of in my other sketchbook. But then I was like, oh my god, I did it in the pencil sketchbook instead of the pen sketchbook, so I went and got a new sketchbook and did this on the very first page. And there's the art flail that I had drawn in pencil and made it into a pen drawing. These are poinsettias, and I actually, again, I was working on this at work. We had gotten poinsettias for the front desk. Like, someone dropped them off as like a gift to us, so we left them on the front desk. And I just sat there drawing them because I think that poinsettias are really cool when you look closely at them. So I just added in like the little details. It was so much fun to draw. Then I made this fish. I was actually thinking about getting a tattoo that said Destimino. I don't even remember what it means, so I'm glad that I didn't get it. But yeah, I really liked it. I made this for my friend. She's a locksmith, so she really wanted an octopus with different keys going into locks. And she obviously didn't get this tattooed because this is not really like a tattoo design, but she really liked it because of like all the details and everything. I like it, the different keys, and I mean, it's definitely a creative interpretation of her idea. I made this dagger. I felt like something was off. First of all, these are uneven. It's not symmetrical, but like it just doesn't really look like a dagger. So this was the idea for this tattoo. I ended up not doing the art because I felt like it wasn't going to translate well. And when I asked my tattoo artist, he said, I'm not sure it'll look right since it's kind of small, but if it was bigger, then maybe. If I do a tattoo tour video, I'll try to explain to you guys the significance of this tattoo. I got it for my aunt, but I think the story would be better for another video. Yeah, this one, again, just doodling. I made a bat, and I love the colors that I used on the bat. I think it's so cute. But I wrote death before dishonor, just because I was, again, trying to learn lettering, and I made that. This is a brown mandala that I did. And as you can see, I was trying to like make it look more even. So this is like me trying to learn like traditional tattoos, but then adding like the shading and everything makes it neo-traditional. And again, a sunflower. Sunflowers are like my favorite thing to draw and paint. So another mandala, but I didn't really like this one because I didn't like the colors. Again, death before dishonor with a dagger. Do you guys remember when this song, I think it's Halsey, I'm bad in love? My sister loved it at the time, so I don't know why I didn't finish this because it was a really cool concept. I wish I did. This, again, just doodling. This is Menace. I can't remember the guy that sings it. I don't want to be the menace. I think it's Ron Woods, something like that. Yeah, again, trying out like neo-traditional. This is, I don't know, just the moon. I hated how this came out, and I wish that I could erase it, but I couldn't. Another mandala. And these are butterflies. I was gonna do the whole page with a butterfly in each square, but it didn't go the way I wanted it to, so. This is definitely just random doodles. I was starting to learn how to do like crystals kind of thing, but I could never figure out how to do the shading properly. And I really loved Snow White when I was a kid, so I did a poison apple. Again, just a doodle. I feel like these doodles don't even go together, but they do in my sketchbook, so. A bee. A bee. I wrote mermaid. I don't know what I was thinking with this. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. So I did end up working with this, concept eventually. I feel like I could never really figure out how to do skulls in a way that looked more scary. So, eyes with little moons in them. I do remember making this, me and my little cousin, we watched like a how to draw video, and we both drew, I don't remember what character this is, but it was something that she really liked, so we were both on FaceTime like following the video and trying to draw it. Same with this one, Cubone, we both drew it together, and then I just kind of like colored him. Again, I think this was Moana, baby Moana. Wanda, the dog, I don't know what she's from. That's just me drawing. I remember my markers started going out, so that really sucked. This was supposed to be, the girl Mia? I don't remember. But yeah, I was supposed to be the girl from Pulp Fiction, and I was like learning how to do shading in different colors, which is something that it's like very prevalent in my art now, but this was in 2020, so I was just learning how to. This was gonna be a lion, but it wasn't really going how I planned. I felt like the eyes looked crazy instead of looking like strong like a lion. This is, oh my gosh, why did I make that noise? This is Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. I used to love Mortal Kombat as a kid. My parents like raised me playing Mortal Kombat and watching all the movies. So I started this and just didn't finish it. This was supposed to be like a negative space kind of thing. And it was gonna be like the drawing is in the background, and then I was gonna erase all the letters so that it would be like all flowers, and then it just says Black Lives Matter. But I didn't end up finishing it. And I think that's actually it for the sketchbook. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. Alright, on to the next one. Okay, so this one's pretty small. And I started it in September 2023. Let's see if it's in my hands. And I put a peek inside my brain. I said, there are definitely naked ladies in the sketchbook. Do not proceed if nudity offends you. Don't say I didn't warn you. This was me testing the different colored pencil. Yeah, this one I was really excited to work with these colors, and then when I put them together, I hated how it came out. So, oh, this was a sketch for Will It Play in Peoria. And I ended up turning it into a painting. I will try to insert a picture, but I loved it so much that I just wanted to make a painting. Again, like I said, there would be nudity, so I'm covering it, but it was a little lava lamp with a woman inside. I like the concept, but I felt like I could never really like get it right, so 2 eyes. Miss Blue Eyes, I called her. I'll ask the clouds to bring the rain for you today so you can cry. That's a song by Neo. And I just felt like doodling that. And then on this page I did this picture, and I hated the colors, so I ended up like not working with this at all, but I do like the concept. I'd do it again. This is so cute, but I couldn't find different colors because I felt like all the lesbian pictures that I drew were always pink. And I wanted to use different colors, so I ended up not doing anything with this. Bite Me, I did end up turning this into a painting, but I didn't like the way the painting looked. I just liked how it came out in the drawing. This one was random. I didn't like the way that the pinky came out. I ended up using this for a painting, but I switched up like her shirt a little bit, and I called it Freaking Out the Neighborhood. And I remember when I used to bring it to shows, little kids would always be like, why is she holding a giant eye? And I'd say maybe it's a monster eye. Once again, NSFW, as a girl in a lava lamp. I could not figure out how to do her face. That's why I wrote that, trying not to give up on this idea. This face is bad. It's really hard to draw tiny faces, so it just didn't go well. these were some ideas that I had. I was making like air dry clay magnets, pins, and hair clips, and these were some ideas. I did that. It just didn't translate well. I think that's it on this. Oh, there's more. There's more. Oh, this. I had started working on this in 2019, I think. Oh no, it got detached. Let me turn it over. So yeah, this was a doodle. This was an idea for like a journal or something, like the cover for a journal. I do like the concept. These are some orange or grapefruit slices, maybe like a blood orange. Some rainbow doodles. Don't ask me what kind of flowers these are. I have no idea. A butterfly, butterfly. The Kingdom Hearts key. This one looks better than the other one, but it's still not very straight. A crystal ball. Don't know what kind of flower this is. Maybe I was doing like a peony or something. And the leaves are a little different from what I'm used to. This was a lotus flower. Made it too small, I think. And again, I think that's it with this. So on to the next. This is my last one and my most recent sketchbook. I think I was working on this last year. I spilled my chai latte. It was so depressing. This was inside the drawer. I spilled my chai latte and it just went everywhere. And it got inside the drawer and I didn't know. So when I opened the drawer and realized that it got all over my sketchbooks and everything, I was very upset. But yeah, I don't know why I chose blue. Yeah, so this was 2024, March of 2024. I think it was right when I moved in and got my studio. This is I Wait For You by Alex G. Is what influenced me to, inspired me to make this. And it's just colored pencil. This is, May the Tears I Cry, What Are the Seeds I Plant. I actually ended up turning this into a painting, but this was just like an outline drawing. And she's crying. Leaves, like little vines. This also was turned into a painting, but I think that this drawing looks better than the painting, personally. It just says, "There are flowers in my heart." That's a song. I think it's called Flowers. And I was doodling hands. Not doodling, I was trying really hard to do hands. I was having a hard time. This says my grandma and grandpa's name because I haven't talked to them in years. And I always wanted to give them a letter. So that's what I drew. And I ended up giving them a letter. Never heard back from them. So I don't know if they got it or if they don't want to talk to me anymore. But I just have to accept it. And then for these, it's two hands reaching for each other. And I wrote, is this just temporary? And I think that's kind of just like fear of abandonment. Wow, these are like really deep, but they just look like doodles. It's just like me trying to communicate fear of abandonment. And then this one was more about like community, and it just says better together. And it's a hand art. I tried to make the hands look different so that they're like different people, but they do look the same. So I tried to work on the lava lamp girl. It's such a like cool idea in my head, but it just does not translate. Because look at the face, not good. And then these are oil pastel eyes that I really enjoyed making because I was trying to get back into oil pastels. Again, using oil pastels again. This one was a little bit better. I like the colors more, and you can't really see my pencil lines because I erased them more. I don't know what happened here, but it actually looks kind of cool and it feels nice. This was an idea that I was coming up with for crocheting a dress. I ended up not making it, but yeah, that was the idea. It was gonna be a sunflower dress, I think. Oh my god, I drew this as a concept for my fiance for a sweater. I'm gonna put a picture of how the sweater came out, but I drew this and then I turned it into a crochet graph, and it turned it into a sweater for her because she loves geese, and so I did a goose on a skateboard. But I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. And that has been my sketchbook tour. Which sketchbook do you guys think is your favorite? Do you feel like my most recent sketchbook shows growth as an artist? I don't know. I think that I'd like to sketch more, but my thing is every time I start sketching again, I get a new sketchbook. But I know that I should just go back to the sketchbook because it's my most recent and just use that. So I will try my best. But like I said, I'm always like, well, it's 2025, this is from 2024, so I'm gonna get a new sketchbook. And I really shouldn't do that, so. But I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I'd love to show you my other paintings, because I do have a lot of them still, and I have some of them on my website, so I can show you guys the ones that I still have in stock, like the originals that I still have in stock, if you're interested in seeing that. But I hope that you enjoyed. I was thinking about doing another flip through tour of my junk journal, but I have only been junk journaling since February, so I really don't have that many pages. But if you're interested in a junk journal tour, I will definitely try to share that with you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a good day or night wherever you are.